Hey everybody. Well, the purpose of this video is to bring you through a little bit of my Turo journey and to explore the topic of whether Turo is really worth it or not. Um, I've done it for just the better part of a year now, and I've had some ups, I've had some downs, but at the end of the day, I'd say Turo is a grind. So first thing is first, I'll go ahead and show you what it's like to deliver a car and how to manage things through the app and some best practices that I found. And yeah, so I just had a Turo returned, and this is my 2020 Camry. I bought it used. Gets a lot of rents. I think I have like over 25 positive ratings on here. And yeah, first thing I do is I just look over the car, see if there's any kind of damage, dings. That's just a spot that'll come up. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Second thing I do is I go through the app and I check out the mileage. It smells good in here too, which is always a plus, because sometimes it smells like weed or cigarettes, or mostly weed. So I went ahead and invoiced, so you can view the invoice here. And the way that works is I have the picture when they checked out, and the picture when I just checked them back in, and you can see it's 200 miles additional distance. It's kind of random that it's exactly 200 miles, but it is actually 200 miles on the dot, which is kind of surprising. But in either case, yeah, so 54 bucks. And the nice thing is, yeah, the Turo will pretty much override that when we return. So now it's all about the all-important run the car through the car wash, take new pictures. I have an airport delivery this evening, and I'll give you a little lowdown on how that system works. Yeah, so we got a little grease spot here. I can usually just scrub that with a brush. Another big grease spot right there. And what I'll do is I'll get my shop vac out here, and then I'll extract that. And so the next thing I do is take the car through the car wash, and the car wash is only open till 7 p.m. But normally I wouldn't take it. The car's not really that dirty right now, but there was just a few little spots of dirt, like it was kind of like a grease kind of thing, so just easier to take it through the car wash. So here I am at the Gugon, actually take 5 now.
How's it going?
Good, how's it going?
Please wait while we verify your membership.
There you go, you're all set.
All right.
You are now ready to enter the car wash.
This place is kind of nice because they give you like a little towelette thing.
Your final memory is her on your bed, with tears in your eyes, your heart made of lead. No silver lining here to be found.
Now, I kind of recommend doing one of these car washes. There's all kinds of options in my area. I mean, there's just a million. This is a $20 a month kind of deal. I do it for both my Turos, and the advantage of this is, 5 minutes through this thing, then they have vacuums and everything. I bring a backpack usually with all my cleaning stuff, I have the car done in less than 15-20 minutes and it's ready to go. And yeah, I mean, as far as my time's concerned, and I'm making the money on the Turo anyway, well worth the time just to take it through here.
Storm is your fault and your head's in the clouds. What can one say other than I regret? Apologies tired, explanations unsaid. Don't think she loved you, but that's just a guess. You should have inquired before making a mess. Will it get easier to go? Or you
You know, I had the car returned to me late. You know, there was a weed pipe in the car, there was ashes everywhere, there was a burnt match, a pack of smokes with one cigarette in it, and they denied everything. And the guy didn't even return the car. So my wife ended up taking me over there. We ended up repossessing the car, and they didn't pay me a nickel. So if you don't have the pictures 24 hours beforehand, forget about it. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take these pictures now. And then basically, when I do my airport delivery, the only picture I'll need to take is of this dash, you know, saying the fuel is full and the mileage. And that just makes it real easy. So here we go. So I currently have 2 cars on the Turo platform. One I've just gotten a month, maybe 2 months ago, and it's a 2018 Camry. I used to have 3. I used to have a 2014 Camry, and that one, it was kind of odd, you know. It was a delivery option. I also delivered to airports, the local airport, which is John Glenn International, and also delivered to hotels in the area. I charge a little fee for that. The nice thing about the fee is you get 100% of that, so that is a nice way to boost your income, especially when my wife, you know, she'll help me out with that, and we use the money for vacations and things like that. And anyway, going back to this lady, I delivered to a local hotel. She had the car for the better part of a month, and she just kept renewing and renewing and renewing. And next thing I know, I get this message saying, "Did you come get the car?" And I said, "No." Yeah, why would I do that? Like, I'm thinking to myself. She's like, "I'm calling the police." So apparently the car got stolen, or so she claims. And I'm like, all right, well, can I get that key back anyway? And she's like, "Oh, I lost the key." And it's like, no, you didn't. I think you gave my car and my car to somebody with the key and claimed it's stolen. But anyway, it all worked out okay. I mean, not great, but I did get a total loss on it. After a month, they never found it. And basically, I got paid about $500 less than what I paid for it, you know, with tax, title, and everything. And I think all in all, with the 4 or 5 months that I rented that car, might have been a little bit longer than that. I think I cleared about $1,500. So not a great outcome, considering, you know, every time I do this, it's 20 minutes, you know. Then if I do an airport delivery, it's more, you know. It's probably an hour of me and my wife's time. It's gas, it's all those things. You know, that's kind of a lot of energy to put into something to make $1,500 over the course of 5 or 6 months. So, you know, if you would ask me, the reason I went and got a second one and kept the second one in service is just, you know, now's a good time to have a side hustle. I mean, the economy is not great. All my stock investments are negative, every single one of them. I have most of my money in CDs. I'm not really, you know, which actually CD interest rates are pretty good right now. And this is just an easy way to make a buck. It's not a lot of work. And you know, when the car's rented out, like I have one rented out right now, it's a really good passive, you know, semi-passive kind of income stream, you know. Like the other 2018 Camry I just bought, it's rented out for the better part of this month. And nice thing about that is, you know, I cleaned it once, you know, did the same 20-minute thing. They picked it up at the house, and yeah, I'll be making like $600 on that whole deal. And really, it's just you know, the bank's money because I financed the car. And yeah, it's when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's not so great. Okay, so I'm off to do my airport delivery for this evening. I've already taken my 50-some photos of documenting the interior and the exterior of the car. You'll notice that I took pictures under the front and the back of the car. Turo recommends you do that. Also made sure that, like, you know, I had my lights on when I was taking my pictures, so you know, nobody can say that the lights weren't working when I delivered the car. Additionally, I took pictures of the floor mats. If you would believe it, I've actually had my floor mats stolen out of the back of my car before. And yeah, I think there might be something where people rent cars on Turo for other people. And so the guy who was actually, you know, delivering the car, he looked like his jaw kind of dropped when I told him my floor mats are missing, but like, I'm pretty sure the people he rented the car for just took them, you know, for whatever reason. So yeah, just talking about some of the general things I've learned on Turo. One of the big things is you got to do remote delivery. So when I deliver to the airport, I always use a lockbox, and well, you'll see it when I deliver it. It'll roll up in the window, and it has just a pin. It's just a really rudimentary, doesn't require any power kind of lockbox. And what that allows me to do is I'm not waiting on the person's not waiting on me. Through Turo's remote delivery policy, all they have to do is attach a selfie holding the photo, their photo ID up, and a close-up of the photo ID, and then you're good. So that's how I do, I'd say 90% of my deliveries. If it's in my driveway, I just leave it unlocked and leave the key in the center console. If it's in the airport, I use a lockbox. Another thing, you probably want to get a second key if your car didn't come with a second key. You can't always predict where they're going to park the car. I mean, I give them a very precise, you're in this section of the parking garage, you know, you're this many spaces back from the front, but you can't expect them to do that. It's nice to have that second key, not only just to identify, you know, by hitting the unlock button, where your car is located, but you know, it's also really nice to, you know, if they did something where they didn't lock the key in the lockbox for some reason and set it up exactly the way you left it, yeah, you can't really, it's nice to have a backup plan, because, you know, my wife's dropped me off at the airport to get the car, and, you know, I want to know with certainty that I'm going to be driving away with that car. You know, another thing I'd have to say regarding trackers, the tracker's pretty important. My first car, I think I mentioned it got stolen. Had I had that tracker, I think I would have gotten that car back probably the same day, if not sooner. Because you know, once the lady reported it stolen, I probably would drop what I'm doing and look it up in the tracker and tell the police, here's exactly where it is. Now the tracker is pricey. I think the device itself costs about 60 bucks, something like that. And then on top of that, I think I'm paying, I don't know, 60 bucks for 6 months, something like that. So like 10 bucks a month. And I have it on both my vehicles. And you're going to also, you know, if you have the one that you have to charge up every so often, it's better to hardwire that thing. So those are just some things to know. But yeah, I would not rent a car on Turo again without the tracker. That's, like I said, you know, I didn't make out like a bandit, you know, at the end of the whole Turo experience with my first vehicle. And I think that a little bit of insurance can go a long way. I'll tell you, now I'm leaning more toward the newer cars where I finance it. And, you know, so I have a, you know, burn rate, you know, these expenses, all said and done, they come out to be like, right now I'm looking at like $1,200 a month. And I think on average, you know, one car would rent for, you know, on average about $1,000 a month on the high end, maybe a little more. Actually, I've gotten more. So like 2 cars is $2,000 a month. So the expectation is, you know, all maintenance and everything aside, and, you know, with your burn rate of $1,200, I'm hoping to make $800 a month clear. and you know, eventually this asset, you know, it'll be something I can sell. You know, I have 4 or 5 year loans, so you know, after that period of time, I'll be able to sell this and take that money and you know, put it in another car. So that's kind of like the high level math of it all. I have spreadsheets too, but I'm not going to bore people with that level of detail. But yeah, you know, that's why I'm still doing it. I feel like, you know, just a better, more productive use of my time in the evenings or in the mornings in some cases. And it's just, you know, I like this passive income. I do the rental properties in addition to, you know, renting these cars. And the rental properties are the best by far, but just in this economy right now, you can't buy a rental property for a decent rate. And on top of that, I mean, you know, when you do buy it, the interest rates are so high, it's like it's just it's a lot of overhead, you know, for something like that. I mean, yeah, it's probably still worth it to do that, but I haven't really found anything that I don't feel is just like ridiculously overpriced to pull the trigger on. So I guess another thing to talk about is damage when it comes to Turo, because it's not a question of if you're going to encounter damage, it's just a question of when. And yeah, I've had three insurance claims now on my vehicle, and it always takes a body shop that knows how to deal with Turo. They use when your claim gets processed, they'll make you upload photos to Snapsheet, and they'll always, when they come back, when Snapsheet comes back with your estimate, it'll always be $0 saying like your deductible is the same cost as your claim, or it'll be less. And you know, I think I got up to $300 one time, and that was like a door that was pretty seriously damaged. They had to replace the door. So every time, you know, they do a supplemental and it comes out to $4,000. I don't know what the magic $4,000 number is, but it seems like if a body shop has to touch your car, it's always $4,000. So yeah, recently I had an issue with a mirror, and I was able to get that fixed relatively reasonably. And I actually, on that one, I dealt directly with the guest. But in most cases, I would say it's better just to do the insurance claim unless you're really confident there's not any additional damage, because if there is additional damage, then you know, there's really no recourse for, you know, if you have a body shop, you can form a relationship with them. You know, so far the one I'm working with, they seem to be able to cut me a little break, you know, with the repeat business that I invariably give them. Because right now I've had 2 claims on 2 cars, and actually on one of them, you know, I wanted to, you know, basically I had a lot of bookings already, so I didn't want to have to go through the process of you know, having the car out of service for like the better part of a month. But that happens anyway, because it just takes the body shop a long time to do the supplemental. You know, they tear the car apart. It has to be in the body shop. That's just that procedure. And then you know, then they take all their pictures and they submit it to Turo, and then they come back and they say this is what you're going to get, you know. And that money, you know, every time they say they're going to write the body shop the check, and every single time they've written me the check, I've gone and gotten a cashier's check and given it to the body shop. So those are the things to expect. When it comes to communicating with your guests, one thing I would highly recommend is on Turo you have the ability to set up and schedule messages. So I have one such message here for the airport, where as soon as they book, I just tell them the process. You know, I'm going to drop off the car in the long-term garage right across from the departures area in the airport, and you know, I'm going to use a lockbox. And the expectation is they're going to upload a selfie of them holding their ID up and a picture of their close-up with their photo ID. And you know, I have one like that for home pickup as well. Basically it's the same thing. You can do contactless if you want. If not, just knock on the door, I'll give you the key. I always try to get a picture of their ID, and because you are certainly liable by Turo that the person who is the primary driver in their profile, that's the person you're giving the car to, and you have to validate the birthday on their license. So I don't want any kind of repercussions if, you know, what I verified, you know, I can't prove that. So there is also a way you can delete the photos if the person is you know, concerned about their privacy or whatever. You can long tap on their photos in the trip photos section of the app. I think there's a way to do it online as well on the website. But if you long tap, you can delete them, and then you can't see them, but somebody at Turo can. So they can prove either, yeah, you did give it to the guy, you know. I try to get a picture of them and their ID, but, you know, if they do the contactless check-in, then, you know, I kind of have that already done for me. My automatic messages, they also say that, you know, you can add a driver free of charge. You just have to get that person registered with Turo, and then you can add them, which is kind of something nice that Turo does, because it doesn't have to be your spouse or anybody like that. You know, it could be anybody. So I would say, like, of the people I've had the biggest problems with, it's usually people with no feedback whatsoever that try to get my car right out of my driveway, not paying any delivery. I've had the best luck, you know, in general with people coming in from the airport. You know, I don't know why that is, but, you know, I'm charging quite a bit for the airport. I mean, it's $85 delivery charge, and that also includes, usually I'm paying $20 to, you know, on pickup, and $20, you know, when I have to leave, you know, pick up the car and deliver it. So yeah, you know, the $40, you know, sometimes I can beat that, but the 40, so I'm really only making $45, and that's me and my wife's time for, you know, about a half an hour to, you know, 45 minutes. So that's, I mean, it's a little bit of money. It's not much. I think we probably about break even, but, you know, typically I only allow, and this is a tip for everybody who wants to get into this, I only allow on both my cars 3-day minimum trips. You know, if I'm gonna put the time into, you know, cleaning the car, you know, it's like 20 minutes, and especially when I'm delivering the car, you know, I want to make at least $120, you know, on that trip. Anything less is just not worth it. And you know, I plan on doing this a couple times a month. If I have to make $2,000, you know, in order to hit my goal of $800 clear and free a month, and yeah, that, and yeah, I mean, you know, you want to do longer trips, and just have a pocket of days here and there where it's just not going to rent. And I, you know, like, I always, in my inbox delivery messages, I always say, hey, if you want to, I see your trip's up, you know, at such and such time. If you want to extend the trip, you can do so through the app. And, you know, since I do the car wash thing as well, I said, you know, for your convenience, I have this, you know, I have a membership at this car wash place. You can get a car wash for free. And some people do it. So that's kind of nice when they do. I also try to remind them, you know, like, by the way, you know, the car's supposed to be full of gas when you deliver it, or when you pick up, like, you know, and when they pick it up, it's always full of gas. And you'll see during my checkout process here that, you know, I pretty much guarantee that. All right, so here we are. This is Columbus International Airport. We have arrived. Now, I like to keep it just super easy. I've already taken all my photos. The only photo I will need to take is of the dash, with the fuel being full and the mileage. And then I check them in through the app. I send them a message saying where the car is located, the pin to the lockbox, and you see here it's $20 a day.
Welcome. Please take your ticket. Welcome.
And this gentleman in particular, I mean, I guess what I cater to is like two kinds of people. The kind of people that are, you know, getting in really early in the morning, like from like midnight to like 2 a.m. There's a lot of red-eye flights coming in that late. And those people, they really can't go to, like, you know, the car rental place because it's not open that late. So, you know, this is definitely the kind of person I want to run to. And this guy has positive feedback. It's really going to be, I think it's going to be a smooth one. I always say that, but you never know. So I try to park, and so directly across the way there, you can see that parking garage. Oh, here's my spot. Yep, I just found one. Yeah, directly across the lot there, that's the departures terminal. That's where you would get your baggage. So this is super easy for somebody who, you know, what they're looking to do is, you know, just walk directly across baggage claim, get the car and be done. Okay, so the checkout process from this point, I got the car parked. I got a lockbox here. I'll show it to you. It's like this. It opens up. There's a pin pad. And I put my ticket in there. Put my ticket in there. I put my 20 bucks in there. That's to cover all their parking charges. Now you can charge them for parking, but you know, I figure for 85 bucks it's worth it for me just to pay a little bit, and you know, just let them have no concerns. Yeah, it's like it's a very nice feeling, you know, when everything's taken care of for you, and you know, that's the kind of level of service I feel like I should be providing for this. Okay, so last thing I need to do is take the picture of the dash. I'm gonna go ahead and do that through the app. Oh yeah, so to do the lockbox thing, I just put the lockbox outside the window. It's still open, I haven't locked it yet. Yeah, just like that. And then I need to take a picture of the dash. So I just, on the app here, I just go to the guy, and then, yep, trip photos. I just take a picture of the dash here. And I'm going to take two. I'm going to take two because, like, you know, there's a little bit of a flicker. So that's pretty much it for my Turo airport delivery process. And now the final process, having my wife pick me up at the arrivals area. Don't really do the departures area because it's such a cluster with all those people driving, and you know, you can't park for more than a second. So see you next time.